Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Confidence Zone. I am your co host today, confidence coach Susan Axelrod, and I'm delighted, as always, to be here with your calmer self coach, Nadine Searle. Hello, Nadine. How are you today?
Hello, Susan. I'm so pleased to be here with you again. I am very well, thank you. Really, really pleased. Looking forward to our talk today because we've got a lot to share, haven't we, with people today?
This topic that we came up with to share with others is so important. We are talking about investing in self development. In our last episode, we talked about investing in self development for you.
Yeah.
How does it work? How has it gone? Why would you do it? Why wouldn't you do it? And today we are going to talk about investing in self development for your business. Nadine and I both own our own businesses. We work for ourselves, but we work in collaboration with each other. And we met through the Cornelia Stephanie Media Group, which is one of the greatest collaboratives I've ever been a part of. How about you, Nadine?
Oh, totally, totally. It's just one of those things that I don't think people realize how much, like we met, like you say, that's wonderful. But in general, the support and the wealth of information, knowledge and communication that we get through that group is just unbelievable, isn't it? So yeah, I'm very grateful to be there and to have met you through it.
Yes, Nadine and I are both leading practitioners in the KS Media Group app. And we want to encourage you right now to go to your phone, go to the Play Store, pull it up, download it, sign in, and then take advantage of so much incredible content there. There are many people who are offering you free material, helpful, useful, very deep material to help you be better positioned in life and to help you better design your life. Today, I want to really hit on this point. Self-development, when you're in business for yourself, self-development isn't really self-development, it's also business development. So Nadine, let's get started. I want to ask you about what's on your mind on this topic today. Give us a little bit of the lay of the land. Of course, you and I started before our episode started today, and
We
I
did,
know
didn't
you
we?
have some thoughts about this. What's on your mind to share
Yeah,
today?
yeah. I think it's such a good point, isn't it? Because for me, they're so intertwined. Self-development, when you run your own business, is what it's all about. You've probably heard the saying, you are the brand. You are your own brand when you run your own business. And we're both the same. We're one woman show, if you like. So that is it. I am calmer self. So I need to invest in me for my business, for my clients. And I feel it's the same with you as well. So we are representing everything that we are selling, if you like, to put it as bluntly as that. So for me, it all starts with looking after me because this is all I got.
Yes, I
I'm
love
not playing
that.
it down, but this is it. So it really starts. I had a couple of businesses in the past, and the first thing, well, actually now when I'm looking at business number 3, that is much more successful, it's a lot to do with the fact that I recognize that I can't do it on my own. I've
Mm.
tried before to do it. I thought I knew everything and I tried and failed. And now I'm actually realizing that there's more than just me. And like we gave a nod a bit earlier to this wonderful Cornelia Stephanie Media Group that we are part of, having all that help and support is so wonderful. Having the support I get from you really helps. So
Mm.
it starts with me actually, and it was a long learning curve for me to actually go, I'm going for business number 3. What have I learned? What do I want to look? Self-reflection, really looking at that, and then going, right, I'm doing this a little bit differently. I'm going to actually get some help. I'm going to admit I can't do it all on my own. And for me personally, that is personal development that we talked on our last episode, didn't we? That I invested in. But that has naturally helped my business because I can't do it on my own. And I don't even want to. So that
Yes. Yes, times a million to all of those things. I especially love your sharing that you're on business number 3,
yeah,
that when you're what I call in intuitive business in the passion space, you work and you shift and morph and evolve and grow and transform into what is intended now and intended now and intended now. And so each of our activities builds on the other. The idea that we're talking about today, for example, being a member of the Cornelia Stephanie Media Group is an investment. You pay to be in the app, but what you get is so extraordinary. Being in a group like this, where people are in love with business and with themselves and with each other, and supporting each other in emotion and being allowed to come there with your feelings, all of these things are absolutely vital to a successful business when you're in business for yourself. To be able to have a safe space to go is absolutely vital. So for me, investing there was one of the places that I invest. That has helped my business immeasurably because other people in the group have hired me. I've worked with other people in the group, and you and I, since I decided to make that investment in myself, my self-development, to be part of a mastermind like that, this is an exact actual application, you and I working together across the seas, right? Is a business development outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you're so right, because it is that, invest and you get a return. And I'm a great believer that actually you don't get anything for nothing, because you don't. And life has taught me that as well, because you really don't. So putting that in, and that comes to another point that I feel very strongly about. It's learning to trust. It's learning to trust that actually it's almost like you put the money out first and then knowing that you will get it back. And that's a big one for a lot of people. I paid right at the start of this business for business coaching for 2 years. And that was a big investment. I hadn't earned a penny, but I thought, right, I'm going for this. I'm going to give it. I did a lot of research. I chose someone that would help me emotionally. It wasn't just straightforward business, because I knew, as I say, I'm the business. It's all about me, my emotions, my blocks, my fears. So working on that I knew that was important for me. I knew I was going to need help and support for that. So the first thing I did was spend tons of money, but that is fine. That is okay, because I knew that I would get it back. So that trust, and like you say, investing in something, you get it back tenfold. So that's the first step, isn't
Let's put it this way. I didn't really know that. You just shared that. Thank you so much.
There you go.
One of the things that I do in all my work, and to really be in the confidence zone, we reveal our truth. None of us are superhuman. We're all just human. And so I love that you shared that. But from my viewpoint, I see that you have structures and systems in place. These are 2 S's of what I teach in my business confidence coaching, which is called the intuitive business system. And so your investment in yourself, your self-development in business, allowed you or helped or supported you to create structures and programs. You have the most amazing method, the Calm Yourself method, which I myself have benefited from. And I also purchased a package from you, a one-time session for a friend of mine. And that is how, that's another way that we do it in synergy with each other. And so that's like a perfect example. Self-development, we want to be clear, shows up as many things, right? It's not just like the mental or the emotional or the spiritual or even the physical. But in our conversation, we're talking, I think we're, showing a more holistic view about what we mean when you invest in yourself and invest in your self-development. And when you own your own business, or to tell you the truth, if you're an executive, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think even more so if you are an executive, especially if you are like middle management. I was for a while in the middle. So you're sort of answering to everyone, aren't you? And you really do. I mean, I wasn't looking after myself then, and I really can look back and go, I needed to, much more than I do now, I think. So it really is important, isn't it, that every step of the way, if you are in business in any shape or form, the more that you invest in your own development, knowing yourself, trusting, coming back to that word again, you're in your own abilities, and actually make it, because that enables you then to give more. It's, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's another little saying that I'm sure you've heard many times. Looking after number one means that you can give more, and it flows easier without, we've heard that phrase as well, the burnout, without burning out all the time. And
yeah, shout out to Dr. Kate Steiner, Steiner, the burnout recovery coach with the Cornelia Stephanie Media Group. You know, Nadine, I want to say this. It came to me as you were talking about middle managers. When you're in middle management, you invest in your skill development. That's what was coming to me. Okay, I got it. When you're in middle management, you invest in your business skills so that you can progress, right? Yeah. So that you can move up the chain of command, right? You will invest in this business idea or that skill development. You'll go to conferences, etc. But you and I are in what I call the intuitive business, right? We are intuitive in our intuitive business space based on what I call the intersection of our expertise and experience, life experience. And we know, especially by the nature of my confidence coaching and the nature of your calmer self coaching, we know that you could grow up the business chain, but if you don't secure the foundation underneath, we call it the heart space, I call it the soul connection space, then you are going to be suffering in difficulty. And I know this for sure, Nadine, because I know these are some of your clients, aren't they?
They are my clients. You're absolutely right. But that also was me. It was me. So again, it's that thing that I've learned through not doing it right before. So it is very much, but it's also, looking at, I think when you are employed by someone, if you like, you let a lot of that go by the wayside because you tend to do what you are told to do a little bit more than we do, which is one of the reasons I'm doing what I do now.
Yes.
But it is that, so you will go, like you say, you'll go on a course that you're told to go on. You'll do the things that the surface things, I like to call it, of learning your skills, going on sales training, that kind of thing. But actually that fundamental looking after your soul, your heart, your health, your well-being, your sanity, those fall by the wayside. They don't seem to be important, but they are so important. And like you said, if we don't have them, then we don't function. We don't keep going. So
I honestly,
it's really something. I know. So obviously we've got so much to say, haven't we? But it's something I really feel that I encourage everyone, whatever size of business that they run, whatever team they have, to actually invest. I do a lot of wellbeing workshops for quite small companies actually, and they pay back tenfold. Because it's looking after your staff. We are in this world at the moment. We need to look after everybody, don't we? And if we look after our staff, our team, then we get it back so much. So there is that place for looking after ourselves if we are in business for ourselves. But also if we are working with other people, communication, it's another thing that I invested in big time, learning how to communicate. Even to the level of performance, doing public speaking like we both do, sharing our story, that kind of thing. I learned a lot as well within my counselling training to listen and understand. And I know you're really good at that. You hear things I say that I don't even realise I've said.
That's why I don't have any friends.
But it's you hear what's going on, the underlying. So it's really learning about people. It's people skills, isn't it? It's that kind of thing. And we do learn. So investing, and I did formally invest in those kind of things to help me for my clients really, so that I could be better, especially like I say, listening, communicating, and coming to what you do, the confidence, big time. How much do we need confidence? We can't do any of it if we haven't got confidence. So what you do is so valuable. And as I've said before, you give me a boost of confidence just by talking like we do now. It's so wonderful. But I know you do so much for your clients. And again, you must see a change in them. You must see them grow and glow, and it must be such a joy.
It is. It's extraordinary,
Mm,
honestly. When I did through the discussion that we're having, my own self-development, it's been a journey of more than 20 years, really,
yeah,
through
yeah,
my own self-development, listening to others, learning from others, integrating, adapting, or adopting first, and then
yeah,
adapting through my filter and lens. And then also my own self-development work of clearing and finding my core, being
yeah.
grounded instead of being ungrounded underneath and appearing to be grounded on the surface. Underneath, it's like this for our listeners. I'm moving my hand around, under the surface,
Was it
and
like the
and it's
duck
unsturdy,
paddling, isn't it? Yeah,
unstable.
yeah. No, you're so right. That
Exactly.
it's exactly that, paddling under the water, isn't it? And looking all serene on the top. And that doesn't work. It doesn't work. You must have the same as I have. My clients see through that. I need to be authentic. I need to be together. I've another thing that I've learned and that I will invest in is a bit of time out. I will, when I'm not firing on all cylinders, I know that, I recognize that, and I will give myself permission to actually step back a little bit and not worry that actually it's all going to fall apart. And that I used to think you've got to work 24/7, otherwise it's all going to disappear. But to actually just go, and this is where I reach out to my colleagues like you and go, okay, now I need a bit of a break. I need a bit of a brain dump, whatever we want to call it, and have that opportunity to just actually have some reassurance actually with fellow people that are doing the same thing or similar, that it is okay just to step back a little bit, so regroup, if you like, have a little bit of a moment.
Having that safe space. You and I
Mm,
do this for each other.
yeah, yeah,
And also, we do get it in the Cornelia Stephanie Media Group, having
yeah,
a
we do.
safe space to go. And especially, I love that you shared again. We always share authentically our experience, and that you were in sales as that mid-level manager, right?
Mm,
Wanting to go up the chain, but feeling whatever insecurities underneath the
yeah,
surface.
yeah,
To find that confidence, to find that calm is really the way. You asked me about my client experience. I mean, honestly, in one session, I can help a person feel more confident,
yeah,
and it is lasting and sustaining because I'm in the soul connection work. I really
yeah,
want to kind of call out here that we are talking about the whole person, WHOLE, the
mm,
whole person.
yeah,
And that is the future of successful business and companies. Corporations are realizing that their employees do better when they're seen as whole people instead of simply a worker bee, you're mine and that's it.
yeah,
And and the companies that still are in that paradigm are going to have to shift. And that's where you and I come in. And that's the space that we're exactly speaking to today. We want people to see themselves as whole, which is why we're talking about self-development, and investing in your self-development can help you in business or in your own business if you own your
yeah,
own business. I mean, honestly, I just can't think of anything more important. Now, I didn't ask Nadine to do this. I just got lucky a minute ago when you said that investing in a bit of time out is important, because it gives me an opportunity to say, I created a women's trip to Sedona,
yeah,
Arizona
yeah,
for this purpose. I'm not
yeah,
calling it a retreat. I'm calling it a trip to rest, relax,
mm,
and
mm,
replenish.
yeah,
And, not that retreats are bad. I've been on retreats. I love retreats, but I'm finding that we are going crazy, Nadine. I'm finding that people are feeling stressed. They're
yeah,
feeling sad, scared, mad,
oh,
anxious,
yeah, yeah,
depressed. And I have created a week-long trip the first week in June of 2022 for a small group of women to get together to hike in Sedona, Arizona, and be in beautiful cohort together. And what I've done, Nadine, is make everything on the trip optional. If you
Yeah.
can get yourself there and you want to
Yeah.
stay in the gorgeous bed in the gorgeous room in the Elements Hotel in Sedona, you can do that because of what Nadine is just talking about. Part of
Yeah.
self-development for your business, or for if you're in business as an executive or a mid-level manager, is taking a bit of time out, isn't it?
Mm. Oh, you're so, so right. And I would encourage you all to follow Susan, because you keep putting little tempters up, don't you? Lovely pictures and videos of where you're going to be and everything. And it's so inviting. So everybody
Mm.
follow Susan on Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere, and see all the tempters, because you're going to want to be there. It just seems so wonderful. And you're absolutely right. It's taking that time out. I've got one of the sayings, the time to relax is when you don't have time to relax. I say that to my clients all the time. When you're just
Ah,
going, I've got to keep working harder, I've got to keep working harder. That is exactly the time to step back, take a break. Like you've said, is it week long? Did you say your
yes. Yeah,
wonderful
one
trip?
week, 5 days.
1 week. That's perfect, isn't it? Because that gives you time to really take that break. Because sometimes, like you say, a 1 day maybe sometimes isn't enough. It's good to have a big break, to feel that fear of going, oh, I'm going to be away for a week, because sometimes in business that seems like a long time. But in my experience, that's where the magic happens. When you take that break, when you've actually almost surrendered to go, I'm just going to have a break, I'm looking after me. Then when you're struggling with ideas and things like that, clients come when you're taking a break. That happens quite often. My business, this business that I'm doing now, Calmer Self, came when I took a break. I left a job that
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, that's another thing you didn't know, isn't it? I'll share the story very quickly. I was in teaching. I was going to that, being stretched too far, again, doing too much. I just couldn't cope with it. So I thought, the only thing I can do is leave. So I was very sad. I didn't want to, but I was looking after me. I'd learnt that, look after me. So I left without anything to go to, which I'd never done in my life. I was terrified. But I had a space. I had about 6 months actually of no plans, nothing to do. And in that time, this business that I am enjoying now naturally came up. So that is, and it wouldn't have happened if I didn't take that break. Scary as it was, that's exactly what happened. So a break that you're talking about, how wonderful, supported by you and the people that are going to be on the trip as well. It's going to be so, so beneficial, isn't it, for people?
Yes, it is. And I can't really agree more. Having, because when you commit to it and you focus on it and you know it's coming, your energy moves in that direction and you know that you're going to get that time. There's really nothing like being in fellowship with women. I mean, come on, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is amazing and wonderful. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. For
Mm-hmm.
some people, if that's too hard, one of the things that I've always loved about your business model, Nadine, is that you also teach people how to do it quickly now.
Yes.
So
Yes.
these are
Yeah.
two different things. I also do obviously real-time coaching, but
Mm-hmm.
in your work in the Calmer Self method, I talked about this before, but the idea of how much you will develop yourself, how much you will feel developed, and how much you will feel better when you attain this calmer sense of being,
Yeah.
and especially in short spurts,
Yeah.
will allow you to be better and do better at work and in your business.
Yes.
So that's something I've always loved about
Mm.
what you do, the small bits.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I call it snatching a moment of calm, because it is
That's
fitting
right.
it in where we can. And even if you just take a moment, 3 breaths, a minute, whatever you can do, that's going to make a difference. So you're absolutely right. A lovely week-long trip is wonderful, but it's sometimes just as beneficial, like you say, is to recognize you need a little time out. Do something. A lot of the methods that I teach are quick and simple. Most of them are, actually, because they need to be. And that makes such a difference. And it works really well with people that are, when you've got too much to do and you just don't know where to start. which we can all be like, can't we? You know, we don't know and get that brain fog and no focus, no clarity, and we're not actually being very productive. So that moment where you just go, right, I know what to do, quick and simple technique that you've learnt, and we're all different, so it's different for everybody. That can make such a difference. And it's almost as if I say to people, you're going into the breath in one frame of mind and you're coming out of the breath almost as a different person, because you can choose how you come out of that breath. And a lot of it is breath work. So you're absolutely right. In any shape or form, long time, a short time, we can make a difference, can't we? We can change. We can actually, like you say, step into that calmness, step back out again, do what we need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I have something I created for myself, all of my tools, just like you, it sounds like. All of my tools I created for myself because I was in such a stressed and distressed position. And so I have a tool I created called Here and Now. And what I wrote down when you were talking, when I was listening, was quick and simple techniques you can use and apply here and now.
Yes,
and I love what you just did there, because that is the stress level of people feels like it's rising so much. Now, you and I, we're in the light. We are in the enlightenment movement. We're in the purposeful, meaning-filled, on-point life. That doesn't mean that we're always all of those things ourselves. And so for me, when we talk about investing in self-development for your business, one of the things I invest in, last episode, you and I identified that I think for me, it was money, but for you, it was time.
Exactly.
Right? We were talking about investment in different ways.
Yeah,
and I was thinking of it, investment as money, but you were thinking of it as time. So since you helped me open my mind to that, one of the investments that I make in my self-development that supports my business is walking my dog. Instead of running out, letting him pee, running back in, I commit in a focused, intentioned way to walking him around the block or longer. I, of course, often go on longer walks with him, but even on what I call the short walks, it's half a mile. And the same thing has happened to me so many times, countless times, when I commit to that investment of time and energy in calm and confidently knowing that that's a good investment, then business ideas come to me when I'm walking, and or people find me and I get new clients because I'm just walking with my headset on.
Yeah, you just never know. I'm a great believer in that. You're so right. I mean, thank heavens for our dogs. You know, what would we do without them in so many ways? But you're absolutely right. Taking that break, it lets things in, doesn't it? It's that surrender. And there's a saying, isn't it? Do your best, God does the rest. Now, I just tweak that a little bit, and I actually just go, you know, you work up to a point. You need your breaks, because that's when the universe kicks in, and that's when the universe supports you, isn't it? To go, right, oh, she's having a little walk in nature. Now I'm going to help. That's the way I look at it. And sometimes I will. I'm out walking in the woods or down at the beach, and I will talk to a tree. I'll talk to the sea, and I go, I need something, whatever I need. I'll ask for it. I say it out loud, and actually it appears. Not necessarily instantly. And like you said about our wonderful group that we're in, Cornelia Stephanie group that we're in, we say a lot out loud, don't we? We put it out there and we get. So there's a power in that. There's power in speaking out loud, asking. There's also power in moving, isn't there? A lot of what I do is still and quiet and calm, but I call it moving meditation. So going for a walk is exactly that, isn't it? We're getting that freshness in our mind, body, everything. It really, really helps, doesn't it? So I love that.
Absolutely. I'm totally have mastered, I call it walking or moving meditation as well. Friends, we are out of time, but Nadine, before we go, I want to say that our next topic has shown itself to me. And this is what it's going to be. Nadine and I are meeting every other month this year in 2022. And then these discussions will be archived forever. So many people in the future can also learn and grow from them. And I would like our topic to be investing in self-development for our world. So
There you go. There you
there
go.
you go. The first one, we talked about investing in self-development for yourself. This time we've shared the idea of investing in self-development for your business. And it's time for us to move out and talk about the world and our impact and legacy. And
Yes.
so we could, does that sound good to you?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Got chills. So yes, that's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
This is what can happen. This was just
universe has provided.
Yeah, this is when you are in investing in yourself, as Nadine and I both did in the Cornelia Stephanie Media Group and in the KS Media app. This conversation came about by a texting chain in the chat when we were there, and that's what can happen. So friends, you can find me and you can find Nadine in the KS Media Group app under Leading Practitioners. Thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned. In a few months' time, we'll be back talking about the importance of investing in self-development for our world. Thank you, friend. Good to see you as always.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful. Thank you.